Alright, hello. It's been a while, but I'm back with another Payday gameplay. What you see, it's been a while since, and basically, I'll be taking a look at all of the stuff that's been added so far to the Spring Break event, and probably taking a look at the newest heist, the car shop heist. So first off, I was just taking a look at the new character that's been added from pretty much the Spring Break, which is Bonnie, the Scottish mobster girl. She's very kind of different to Clover, I must say. Although her voice actually kind of sounds similar, but that's the little bit of an issue between the Irish and Scottish having somewhat similar accents, depending on where you're from. But yeah, it's just to jump in. Yep, there's a lot of characters now, and the other character, Jacket from the Hotline Miami 2, wrong number, what do they call that? Cross promotional software. He's also in here, so let's just take a look at him. Yeah, and yeah, Jacket's really also quite interesting as well. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. You don't really get to see Jacket's actual face in any of the game or the material or anything. It's usually just he's wearing the Richard chicken mask. I presume this might actually be a face capture from one of the devs at Denaton Games. Probably. I'm thinking that's who it is. They kind of like to do that to a degree, the Payday guys. Let's see if we get another mask that hardly covered up the face. Oh yeah. This one I kind of like as well. Wait. Just double check on this one. Actually silly, but yeah, he's a rather young looking character, which leads me to believe that possibly this isn't. If you want to try and speculate about actual real whatchamacallit, lore of inside of Payday 2, that this jacket isn't the actual real jacket from Payday or Hotline Miami 1, because considering that Hotline Miami 1 takes place during the 80s, and the character then portrayed then goes through all of his ordeals and stuff like that and comes out, and Payday essentially takes place within 2000s, primarily 2012 onwards. The character from Payday, my Hotline Miami 1 would look rather old, I would say, at least, unless he was portraying doing the massacres and stuff like that during when he was about in his teens, possibly. Do you think that's the only way he could look, still be young enough, probably to run around and do the things they do in Payday now? That's why, and maybe possibly being a baby-faced kind of person, the way they look ageless, but still. I don't know. That's why I'm saying that this jacket here for Payday 2 is not the same. He's a copycat. He's copying the original jackets, like he's copying the original jacket, and that he's a new guy. But that's just speculation, and there's no real basis on it. And it's a cross promotional character, so there's no real thing. As to yeah, his actual bio. Allegedly, he once wiped out an entire Russian mafia in Miami all on his own. His background in the military and his unflinching attitude towards over-the-top violence has made him an excellent hitman, or messenger, as some like to call it. For unknown reasons, he is completely mute and chooses to communicate only with the help of a tape recorder, playing back hits bits and pieces of language learning tapes, PEAs, and documentary narrations instead of speaking, which is quite a cool feature about it. When you select character, you also play as Jack as well. Yeah, the other interesting thing is the link there. It says his background in the military. That gets expanded upon a little bit in Hotline Miami 2. Funny enough, I've actually reached a point in that game where it's possible he might be in it. And Bonnie, Scottish. Bonnie is from Glasgow. That should be enough to strike fear into a man's heart. But Bonnie is also from 1980s Glasgow. These years, the Thatcher era, made already tough towns even harder and bred a generation of determined, unforgiving Scots. Bonnie is cut from this cloth. When you select Bonnie as your preferred character, you will always play as Bonnie if she is good. Another one, she's from 80s. Was she a teen? Was she younger during that time? Maybe. From 1980s Glasgow. I mean, she looks potentially old enough to be, yeah, like maybe in her 40s or late 30s, possibly, running around Payday gang. Yeah, it's possible. She's got an interesting kind of physique and stuff that I really think certain builds, especially the stealth dodge builds, wouldn't work with her physique, but maybe that's just me being biased or nonsensical, really. The shaved head is also rather interesting. The scarred and tattooed and stuff. It's crazy. That beard, she actually looks like a man, apparently. Oh, that's crazy. But no, I think I'm going to play as Jacket from this point onwards. That's because he really, in a way, is most interesting with his tape recorder. Alternatively, let's see, there is also a new gun, Bonnie's new gun. This one here is I've modified it. It's all cut down, but the original version is much longer. Coach gun, over under shotgun. Let's see if I have enough to actually buy a new one. I do not, so I'll have to get some money. But yeah, like the Moscone, it's a double-barreled shotgun. This time in a over/under configuration instead of the side-on. I have modded my one to have the double O or triple O buckshot, which it gives it an extra punch. Really helps. I've also got sawed-off barrel and the wrist wrecker stock, which is sawed-off stock, pistol grip stock. I'm looking for the luxurious ammo pouch. It'll drop randomly sometime, hopefully, and then I'll get another one that's a long range model. Otherwise, sound pods. Oh, excuse me. Yep, it gets a long, big, usual rifle stock. What's sawn off is kind of silly. And then this one, it's a long ass barrel. What's sawn off stock is kind of also silly. So I might as well just go for a full concealment one. Though I will say the this wasn't that Lucille, was it called? Oh well, the over/under shotgun. It, even with those two mods on it, its concealment still is not as good as the Moscone's concealment. One being 27 versus the 21 from the over/under. Although I generally don't like to use even the Moscone for stealth heists. I usually run with my usual car and Swedish K. But okay, let's actually. Oh yeah, and I forgot. It's actually Jacket's sidearm. Excuse me. Is Mark 10 or Mac 10 actually. I have modded this with a couple of things, but let's just take a look. Yeah, it's a extended grip Mac 10 with, yeah, you can put rifle stocks on it, got the suppressor or muzzle brake, the scope mounts for almost all the scopes, a custom body mod which gives it extra damage for some reason, just being a sprayed customized body. It's kind of weird. Yeah, so it's got that one. There's also the usual single auto fire, gadgets, yeah, multiple variety of things, although I don't see why putting a... Oh, they actually don't have the ACOG. The ACOG is something you can't actually put on here. That's funny, because it doesn't suit it. And you have the usual stocks, and the actual 80s calling receiver. If you go without, it's just a general... It actually says jackets piece on it. Hotline improving corpses. The Hotline USA. And the Rooster Head jackets piece. Yeah, let's see. I believe it's a customized. It's a Mark 10. It's extended body. Yeah, there's also two barrel extension, and a suppressor. Although you get those in random drops. Yeah, there's not much else between this one and the standard Mark 11. They have generally rather similar stats, though the rate of fire for jackets is slightly higher and has a larger complete ammo capacity. The damage is also slightly less than the Mark 11, as well as the threat generation, though that's not really a big factor. Everything else is usually quite similar. The jacket's piece is actually a lot more accurate than the Mark 11. My Mark 11 has a good couple other crazy mods on it. Yeah, I believe that fun barrel actually screws up the accuracy, so that might be one of the problematic parts of it. As I've also modded this one, I think, to be full auto only. Excuse me. It is full auto only, which reduces its accuracy. This one, accuracy reduced. Stability, no. Sealants. Stability. This one doesn't increase accuracy, but this one does, but it's negligible with all of the negatives. That one's really a spray and pray as well as jackets, but jacket you can actually somewhat use it in a semi-auto capacity. That one's it's a shorter body than jackets, which is fairly interesting. Yes, those are the new guns, pretty much pertaining to the new characters. So let's go take a look at the new heist. Also, there's side jobs. Basically, these are it sets, it randomly updates every day or week a new achievement styled objective, basically. They so far have just been following the generic achievements in the game, being Gold Digger and Tabula Rasa. Tabula Rasa, fucking annoying mission, an achievement, but I'm glad I finally did it, especially when it popped up on a weekly job. Otherwise, yeah, those they just generally allow you to do small things. Let us take a look at. Let's see if it pops up. If it doesn't pop up, I'm going to have to purchase let's see, the car shop. Alright, just to play, I've already done one run through in hard, and in a stealth type build. I believe I currently also am in stealth as well, so I'll just do one of these to demonstrate the heist itself, which is fairly interesting.
Toyo Autos is our objective here. We're going to hit their dealership late in the evening. Should be quiet, not many civilians. They're a high-end joint, dealing and importing high-performance supercars from Europe and Japan. Those cars are a work of engineering beauty, and they're expensive. We're talking the price of a house in Georgetown here.
Okay, well now that Bane's finished talking, let's take a look. Select configuration. The assets for the heist are very minimal. The body bags and dumpsters for some reason. We'll purchase these just in case. The dumpster for body storage. Okay, you slide this open. I did notice on my first playthrough there are dumpsters in it, but I don't think they're open yet. I'll shut this somewhat. I'll be taking a modified. The MP5 is well modified into the MP5K without the hot stock, and the silenced barrel is also pretty good. Also the Scorpion being also very good for its concealment. The Tech 9 modified is also excellent for concealment. Uzi not so much. TIE Fighter not so much either, although I've become missing the shortened barrel that one's. And then the Sterling is not so great either. It's alright, but really the one thing about the most minimal you can get is if you're doing stealth run, there's no other point to half and half. Alright, let's go for it.
Okay, we're here. Time to go to work.
Yep. Get this done.
Our buyers only want cars in great condition. That means you can't alert the cops. They won't care what they shoot up. So keep this a quiet one.
Alright, so we start off on a street. Yes, on a van. There are a number of guards in this one. I think I remember seeing about 6 or 7. Roughly. Yeah, this is the place. Which part inside? One thing are these Falcone or Lamborghini. They're a Lamborghini Ferrari hybrid, which is probably why it's called a Falcone.
Un guardia. Security guard.
Yeah, it's funny the jackets, summer jackets.
Place like this will keep it secure. Look for a storage room.
Summer jackets dialogue is actually in Spanish, probably from language learning of
Security guard.
tapes and stuff. It's really funny.
Yes, sir. They can be
Why?
Guard.
Remember, the place you gotta go is upstairs. Oh, there is an office.
Find that storage room, gang. The keys will be there.
Best way to do that is to either go outside or there's actually a stairwell right here.
Now enjoy the show.
You can walk through. There's a stairwell in the front, but sometimes it's guarded by a guard. Oh, they spotted.
Down.
Oh, exactly the person one. Oh, that guard's gonna.
The number you've reached is not in service. Please check the number and dial again. Thank you.
This is 2-4 reporting.
Down. Down. Runter. Stay. The number you've reached is not in service. Please check the number and dial again. Thank you.
Yeah, someone else.
Stay.
He's freaking out.
Stay down.
Now that you've taken a hostage, the police assault is going to take more time.
Stay.
Stop it! Don't kill civilians.
Oh, I'll kill them all at
Drop a
fucking
key
once.
card, probably for his office. Maybe something
Oh, nope, that thing's all shit. Restart.
Please contact us during normal business hours. Thank you.
Okay, well, it's turned into loud, so let's just take this. Yeah, you still have time to do things when it's loud. person
Secured.
is right there, Carolyn University. And there are several people around too. Yes. What is this? Okay. Oh, there's you. Carolyn Worcester. Okay, we have to hack this one.
Search the manager's office to see who the new IT guy is. Then locate his computer and hack it.
Thank you.
Yeah, we have to basically do it before the cops arrive. It's the point of no return.
Stay.
You need the car keys as well. Grenade repellent. Paperwork. A paintwork. Yeah, because the funny thing was the cars in the mall. That's it. Yeah, it's a reference to the mall job. If you throw grenades into the car store that's there, they explode and the cars don't even really get damaged. All of the glass plates and everything else that's even a reference in the actual real world. Wonder technology.
Almost there, guys. I'm trying as fast as I can.
Yep. I'm running out of time in this. It takes a little while to actually get this thing out of here. And then you gotta. Oh, yes. While I was doing that, I should actually be grabbing the C4. Just something that happens. You got a C4 area over there. Oh, okay, I'm gonna run out of time. That would actually be a bust. Manager. Next time we'll have to suit up outside.
In. Right. Then a few moments to get the lock. While you're waiting, head back and fetch some C4. Let's get our escape ready.
Oh, that's fine.
And the storage room is open. The keys are ready for you.
I've done that earlier. I will send you that. Oh, damn.
Down.
This is the storage room.
Now jump into the car. Oh, and keep your head down. It's time to blow this joint.
It blows the thing off and you can actually drive a car.
One hell of an explosion.
Stay down.
Boom. I don't want to see it now, but okay, let's retry that. So stupid, I actually managed to stealth the entire thing the first time around, and this time some random fucker comes along and screws it all up. Okay,
For your autos is our
I
objective
don't
here.
actually think you really need these. I did it without
We
them.
arrived in this piece of junk. Our buyers only want cars in great condition. That
The
means you
best way
can't
to
alert
do
the
it is
cops.
actually
They
to...
won't care what they shoot up. So keep this a quiet one.
You could wait till that guard's moved,
Security guard.
but
Un guardia.
there's two more upstairs and there's one outside. You might as
That
well...
box there controls the gate.
Following presentation has been
A
approved.
bit of rewiring
Ensure
and
audience
open
is
sesame.
I can rewind these, just one on either side of the complex, essentially. See, with this. Quickly.
I'm betting the keys are locked away somewhere.
Grab these
Find the storage.
dumpsters. Like, oh, you can actually use them. So must be extra ones outside, I think. Oh, stop. Should be upstairs.
Fachmann.
And now
Storage room,
these
guys.
things
Get
there,
in there
that's
and
all
get the car
there.
keys.
You have arrived at your
Damn it. All right, stay cool. Find the manager. Take him hostage. I'm sure he can help us get in.
down. Down. Down.
That hostage will definitely make them have to regroup. Buys you more time.
just don't notice it. You noticed?
Watch your background. Spare the civilians.
It's fine, there might be, maybe 2 guards that come by.
They got a new IT guy on the books.
Mark,
Find his
baby.
name and hack his PC. We should be able to open that door
Oh,
for you.
it's actually this first one. That's strange enough, it was like that for some time. The names actually change.
Okay, give me a minute or so.
This takes serious. Just wait. Alright, now it's basically just a waiting game. No one's sleeping. Wait, where are the... Interesting, no.
Please follow.
Yep. Bonnie and Clover. Oh, the 2 girls actually spawned as AI characters. That's funny. Oh, someone's noticing. And goodbye.
Stand by, gang.
This is a test broadcast of the emergency airwaves. This is a test. Do not be alarmed. This is a test.
The funny thing is, between all of the characters, I think somehow Jacket has the most convincing.
Down. This is
Somehow,
report.
pager
If you have a
answerer
problem
as
with your radio,
using those
please
test
contact us during normal business hours.
yeah, generalized like audio stuff like that. It's quite funny. And I think his actually works the best out of everyone. The ones that work the least are Clover and Bonnie because there are no
While
female
you're
security
waiting,
guards.
head back and fetch some C4. Let's get our escape ready.
Okay, so I gotta go around and try and get the C4 out of the bags. I don't know if a guard will come up.
Go out to the van and pick up the C4. Plant it on the
I think
street.
it's too close there. I'm gonna walk outside. Yep. She kind of is not really a pretty looker, but she fits the whole bug description, really, or the bug kind of thing. Same with Clover to a degree as well. They're not pretty women, but you won't find pretty women in the actual mob underground, really, I reckon. Especially ones who would actually kick ass. And it's props to Overkill for actually kind of doing that. In a way, more realistic looking ladies. As to whether or not they fit with the aesthetic of the rest of the group, who knows? There's a big outcry about that in the online communities, but I don't know, I kind of like the whole
I got it open.
somehow I kind of like variety.
Cops are en route.
Okay,
Move
well,
faster.
doesn't really matter because as soon as I grab the keys, he blows the thing and that alerts anyone anyway.
Oh, and keep your head down. It's time to blow this joint.
Boom, see, and then all the windows go anyway.
Now move some rubber.
We are in a hurry.
Drive through the hole in the street.
Yep, this is driving. Whoa! The driving it's alright. It's actually somewhat reminiscent of Battlefield, I'd say. It's not exactly really intuitive. It's just it's necessary. I think it's probably the best. Or not necessary. It's bare bones. No, not bare bones. It's kind of but it works. It's satisfactory. It's, what you need from driving. It's interesting because it's the first time ever you really do this in any of the Payday games. There is literally no driving in Payday.
Just leave the car in the container and most on out. We're
Drive
nearly
into
done.
one of these containers. And funny enough, one for every single 4 cars.
Now get out of there.
It is $50,000. Okay,
Outstanding work.
that's
Sweet motors will be in the hands of Arabian sheikhs within the week. Good job.
that's pretty much it. Yeah, it's a fairly straightforward heist. It's not exactly a huge payment, but I mean that was just hard, so it's not really the best thing. The XP is also pretty good for just a hard mission. I mean, yeah, it's fairly alright. It's fairly standard. I mean, it's one extra new heist. It's also another nice heist that's only can only be done in stealth. Of which there's only pretty much 2 of them now, essentially. Although you could argue that all of the Death Wish heists should really be done in stealth, except for the ones that are allowed only. So yeah, that's pretty much that new heist and the 2 new characters and what they offer. I could show the new bank van. Oh no, excuse me, not the bank van, the SWAT van with the turret upgrade. I will. Yeah, let's just quickly show that because it is quite tough from what I found. Yeah, let's go for the. Just fill up dragons one bit more, and yeah, let's go for a heist. Probably one of the banks might be the best. What does it show up in my phone? From what I remember, it shows up on Diamond
There's a jewelry
Store.
store downtown that just received a shipment. You up for a smash and grab?
And transformations, does it show up? Let's just go Diamond Store. I know for sure from that one. It shows up in that one.
Keep an eye out on the alleyways. Keep those civilians down and work fast. Let's get those jewels.
For this circumstance, I'm going to bring some heavy weapons. Let's see. Let's go all Russian, shall we? One of the things you really need is if you want to destroy it in an RPG. Otherwise, if you're running stealth build, you can use ECM Jamrest to defuse it and cause it to shoot police, which is a pretty interesting feature. But no, I'm going out for this one just so
All
we
right,
can get it.
get ready. Get me the required. Get into the store. You know what to do. Let's get those jewels.
Pleasant flight.
Damn it, that's the alarm.
That didn't kill anyone.
Get ready.
What a shame. Disappointing. Oops.
A professional doesn't need to kill those people, you know?
Get down on the ground! Down on the ground!
Just take 2 hostages, just for the shits and giggles.
I see
It's
one.
meaningless. Who's gonna run it? Probably not gonna be.
Down.
Van's
What
moving.
we're after. Get into the van.
Oh, it's still there. Nope, the van did move. Where has it gone? Somewhere else. Okay, back. Be back.
Down on the ground! Right down! On the fucking ground! Get down!
Don't use LMGs for long range.
Corners.
Just probably, stockpile. LMGs at the time. You have a bench. Swap bands if they appear on the map, which is another thing that I'm going to show you. They appear on the map.
Don't get loose with it now.
And oh, there we go. That's the thing. Yeah, it's. I mean, this is normal, so it doesn't do a heck of a lot of damage. It's just kind of damaging. There is some blind spots to it as well. There you can't actually hit us in this range. Oh, oh, okay, they fixed it. But here, apparently, that's the point right now. As you can see there as well, it also reloads. Another feature of it is, yeah, actual armored sections to it.
Everybody get the fuck down!
Yep, this is right. It, on the higher skill levels, it takes at least about 7 or 8 RPG shots to play on a refill, which is quite tough, considering it's, yeah, it's, I mean, this is normal, so it would look rather pathetic, but yeah, that was pretty interesting.
You did good. Reminds me of myself back in the day. You did good back there. Take advantage of it now.
There's plenty of trees here still.
That's our van coming back. Get ready. He's coming in.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Gear up. We got a badass police force coming in.
Unless it only actually, yeah, worth it. Nope, this is both.
You got hostage rescue units
Okay.
coming in.
Stay.
Take everything and leave because I'm not here to actually lose. Yeah, the van is it's an interesting thing. It doesn't, as you can see, it didn't do a heck of a lot of damage. I don't even think the extra 50% absorption in the tech tree. I just have the overall heavy armor. So, at least on the normal, yeah, which is nothing anyone actually ever plays actively, it's not that effective, and it's just somewhat more of a nuisance. On the higher skill levels, it could prove to be a bit of a threat.
Brace yourselves.
And in the short, in terms of when you actually have an EC engine and you get it to actually shoot at the cops, it can be a bit of a blessing in disguise to a degree. However, yeah, it is fairly average. It's an interesting thing, but and then once it's spawned, it doesn't come back. You can get more to spawn, I believe, or more spawn on higher skill levels or other types of missions. The only thing I wonder is, does that van now actually replace the standard vans that show up and normally drop off SWAT or active mobile SWAT spawning stations? Because I've seen those. It might actually. So, no, there. markings, but like I said, it was just to demonstrate what they did. Whoosh!
Bring him to their goddamn knees. Y'all want some?
New dialogue there from Dallas, I'm sure. We've heard that before. And done. Let's get out.
That's how much we need. You guys can stay and get more.
Smoke.
Oh, escape.
But you got the
Okay,
job
well, I'm
done.
not gonna
Good
show you
job.
that. It's the usual fare. Alright, so pretty much the new enemy is fairly interesting. It's a bit of a, especially when they appear when you don't see them. Like on, as I was have said, Hoxton breakouts. One or a couple appear in the first day when you're actually trying to get the van through, and those on especially Overkill now, Overkill and Deathwish difficulties, they can be quite punishing, and they can actually bog down your team, making the Tabula Rasa, especially that one, that achievement even harder now, considering they pop up there, because although they hardly damage me in this being normal and I had heavy armor on Overkill, when you're wearing a suit, they're just gonna rip through you, and so yeah, that's gonna make that achievement a heck of a lot harder now. I'm kind of glad I did it before they implemented the van SWAT van thing, but yeah. Okay, one thing I just noticed, on the escape, at least for this downtown one, there are SWAT vans that have popped up and come through the usual areas that block you off. They look like they are the same kinds of vans that the turret pops out of, but the turrets don't actually pop up out of them. I believe those are actually the same kinds of vans that initially I said in certain things like the bank heist, they pull up and they drop off a bunch of SWAT dudes. They seem to have just Overkill seem to have just updated the general SWAT van model, I think, to include that turret ring. There's another one over there, and there are some more over there. As to whether or not these ones actually generate or spawn with turrets, let's just take a look. Okay, let's get something there. No, they don't spawn, but they have the turret rings. So, yeah, they've updated the general model for the SWAT van. And they sometimes spawn. So yeah, there is actually a map list of which maps spawn SWAT vans with turrets. I believe that was in the actual update itself for the SWAT van. So yeah, you can take a look at that as to which maps actually spawn it. And yeah, I believe, yeah, well, the thing is just now is it does bring a new level to the game to a slight degree on some of the maps. When you're trying to do them loud, for the ones that can't be done silently, but then if something happens maybe and you have to do it loud. This is, you know, for people to possibly bring it gives more precedence now. There's a real urgency to actually bring GL40s and the RPGs to maps, try and take them out, as well as the minigun itself. It actually gives it fairly good targets. For some players actually do like to run that weapon. As to also using ECMs now in loud missions, it also gives players that urgency as well to bring ECMs on a loud mission when a SWAT van is spawned, because it gives you a an extra gun in the way that for a period of time at least that can help you out. At least act as a distraction or suppression. At least. So yeah, it's quite a cool feature. I just wonder what the other enemy they're still going to implement from the Crime Fest last year. They still haven't actually implemented that enemy yet, so and they said that the SWAT band isn't the same thing, so I'm eager to see what that will be. Okay, well, alright, that concludes this run-through of the new features and the new heist. I will see you another time when they implement the rest of the other features, possibly also taking a look at Hoxton's Revenge. Okay, well, see ya.